is the Gateway Gamers podcast.
Hello, and welcome to Gateway Gears Podcast. My name is Brian Marvel, coming at you solo this week. Once again, I got the itch to record, so I figured I'd jump on. I'm not going to do a full review of a game. Instead, I'm going to talk about a topic that I've been seeing a lot on Instagram and something that I partook in as I thought it was interesting. The question was kind of, if I lost my entire collection, what would I rebuy? What would be the 5 games I would rebuy to kind of rebuild, restart my collection? And I think this is a really interesting idea, as many collectors know of anything really, but also board games, is we have way more than we need. I had at one point easily over 150 to 200 games. I moved recently and I culled my collection down to probably still more than I need, but it was hard to kind of cut down the fat. But I did it anyway. So this idea of, what if I lost all my games, let's say a fire, a flood, or God forbid something else, like, don't even want to think about it, but if I lost all my games and I wanted to rebuild my collection, where would I start? It's a great question, and it really made me look at my collection and kind of maybe internalize, what do I play the most? What are my type of games that I play? So these are the 5 that I kind of came upon after looking through my collection. So the first one I would absolutely get is Marvel United. If you are a longtime listener to this podcast, or you know me, I love Marvel United. It's easily one of my top 5 games. So it's just, it was a no-brainer. The one I would grab, though, if I had to get one box, would be the Marvel United X-Men set. This was Season 2 of their Kickstarter from CMON. I think it's when the game really hit its stride. I think it's when they started adding items to make the characters more bombastic. It's when they started adding villains that could be heroes, and it was just a really interesting idea. The rest of the Kickstarter had amazing characters, but this box of the basic X-Men, Cyclops, Beast, Professor X, Wolverine versus Magneto, Sabretooth, Mystique, I think it's just, it might be one of my most played core boxes of the Marvel United giant amount that they have, but I think the X-Men box is kind of the one I come to the most for some reason. I'm not sure why. I think I like fighting Magneto. I think the characters that are in there are interesting in what they do. I'm not going to go through how that game plays. All the games have been covered at some point in our podcast, so if you kind of look back, especially Marvel United, we did a whole summer on it because I love it so much. But yeah, if I had to rebuild my collection, Marvel United would definitely be one of the ones I would try to hunt down to get everything again. So I went all in on the 3 Kickstarters, so it would be hard to get all that stuff again, but I would do my best and kind of ruin my bank account in doing so. The next game is more of an interesting one. It's Spirits of the Wild. Again, if you have listened to us for a while, this game has come up a bunch of times, and it was recently re-released, Spirits of the Wild Awakening. It was one of those games that my wife bought at Target, wasn't anything I knew about. Mattel put it out, which isn't really known for putting out these gamer games, let's call it, but she liked the cover, she liked the artwork, so she bought it. We got it home, and it's a straight 2-player game, and it was amazing. It was one of those games where it was way easy to teach, not really fiddly, but was a lot going on. You're collecting gems, you're very easy take that between the 2 people playing, which my wife isn't a huge fan of take that, but this was just enough that she enjoyed it. So I kind of waxed poetic about this game for a long time. It went out of print. It was extremely hard to find. The prices for it were absurd. And then recently it just came back out, Spirits of the Wild Awakening. It's at Target, it's at Amazon, it's kind of everywhere, game shops, I'm sure. And it took that game that was already really good and made it more replayable. They added more powers, you can kind of mix and match. So each game you're not playing the same 6 animals. I forget the exact combo how many animals, but it's a lot. Like I played it a few times with the Awakening version, and you can make some really cool combos with the different animals. So Spirits of the Wild is a game I really recommend if you haven't played it and you are a 2-player person to grab. It's from Mattel Games, and it's only, I think, around $20 or $25. It's a really solid game for what it is. So that would definitely be one I grab for my collection to kind of restart. Because again, I don't have a huge group of gamers. I play a lot with my wife. I play a lot with just RP. So 2-player games and solo games are really in my wheelhouse of games in my collection. The next game I would definitely kind of grab is Unmatched. The entire Unmatched system, again, one of my favorites. I love being able to mix and match. I love having a T-Rex versus John Henry versus The Witcher versus Daredevil, like, because they have Marvel tie-ins, they have Witcher tie-ins, they have Jurassic Park tie-ins, and then they just have some really interesting literary people. So they have like Sherlock Holmes, they have Dracula, they have Sinbad. So if I had to get any of the boxes to restart my collection, I would get the Unmatched Battle of Legends Volume 1. This is the one with Medusa, King Arthur, Alice from Alice in Wonderland, and Sinbad. Or again, just a really unique bunch of characters that play wildly different, but the game style's the same. You're moving miniatures around a little map. You're playing cards against each other. It's a rock, paper, scissors card battling type system. You're playing a card. It's your card. Has a higher defense than their attack. You win. There's also some little powers that they have, but it's a really interesting like mechanic, and it's a great whole like gameplay system that they've kind of created. And again, I think I just enjoy mixing and matching. I think it's just kind of come up before with other games where I love being able to take the different expansions and mix and match and have characters fight each other. Marvel United is just as much as that, where it's like I could take Spider-Man and all the different characters and have them do for different things. The DC set's coming out, so now I can have Batman and Superman team up with Captain America and Iron Man. So Unmatched, that system kind of is the same thing, where it's like I can have Leonardo from the Ninja Turtles and Sinbad fighting Shredder. Like, it's just such a cool idea, and the gameplay is fantastic. The boxes, the artwork is amazing. If you don't know this game and you're listening, go back and listen to our episode covering. I feel like we've covered 1 or 2 sets, if not more, at this point, because it's so easy to cover. It's a fantastic game. But yeah, so I think that would definitely be one I would save. I would get the base box and then eventually buy them all. The next one is very similar in the sense that, again, I'm mixing and matching. I'm taking one box, mixing it with others. There's Marvel expansion. So apparently anything with Marvel is going to be going in my collection. If you don't know, my last name is Marvel, so it's just kind of bored to be a Marvel nerd. But Dice Throne from Roxley Games. Again, being able to mix and match characters, having Doctor Strange versus Krampus and Santa. That's a box that came out. I just love, again, the system. It's Yahtzee. It's just battle Yahtzee. It's what it's described as. It's what it is. You are rolling dice, trying to get different symbology, trying to match them to your board to attack the other player. There's cards you can buy. There's upgrades you can do. But it really just comes down to rolling the dice 3 times Yahtzee style, kind of picking and matching which ones you want to use, and using your board to kind of say, all right, I'm doing 9 damage to you, along with some other powers, because each character is wildly unique and has a different power set and power type of thing that they do. And it's really unique. I like it a lot. And again, I think it's just being able to mix and match different genres and things. I think it's just the 90s kid in me of having He-Man and G.I. Joe fighting Skeletor and Megatron, and just my living room being full with all those different types of toys and battling it out. I think that's kind of evolved with me as an adult and into my gaming type of mood that I get in. Finally, the last kind of box that I would get, it's only become controversial recently because of J.K. Rowling, but the Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle deck building game from the OP. This came out in 2016, so before all the stuff started happening, she lost her mind. But this is a great game. It's not the best deck building game. There has been better deck building games since this has come out, like wildly better deck building games. This is very basic. It has stills from the movie, which I am not a fan of, but this game is so special to me Because again, my wife and I played this game like a ton when we first started dating. She's a huge Harry Potter nerd, and I got this game, and she wasn't a gamer, but she enjoyed this because of the theme. She picked up on it because it's a very basic deck builder. I like the idea of there's 7 different boxes and you're going to the school all 7 years, and each box kind of builds and adds different mechanics and things that you're doing in a game. It's a really well done deck builder. Again, there has been better ones since, wildly better theme, wildly better mechanics and teaching styles, but this one just always stood out for me because of the memories I have with it. As I said, when we were first dating, we would play this, I think, like every Sunday was kind of like our game night we would kind of have. We would do this, make a little charcuterie board to watch Game of Thrones. We were those people. But I remember vividly getting to box 7 and playing that last scenario for easily 45 minutes to an hour. And when we finally beat Voldemort, the two of us cheering as if we won a Super Bowl just because we were kind of done and excited to kind of work together. So this box really holds a special part in my collection. So it would be one of those games I would have to get again because, again, I play a lot of games with my wife. She's not a huge gamer, but she humors me, so she would play this game if I pulled it out again. There are expansions that I have for it. We have played. They're not as good as the base game, but it's a game that is near and dear to my heart, and I would have to buy again for sure. So those are the 5, like I said, after looking at my giant collection, that I would have to rebuy if something happened to my collection. That would be kind of the start. But honestly, I think if I lost all my games, it would be hard for me to pick back up. I just kind of start this hobby and just slowly accrued games and have enjoyed them, and there are games that have sat on my shelf since I've started. There are games that have sat on my shelf that have never opened. So if I kind of lost everything, it would be one of those like, all right, like maybe not get as big a collection. Like I want to rebuy every game, but I think these 5 would definitely be the ones that I would be itching to kind of grab again. And then honestly, because I'm a collector, I would end up having more games than ever, let's be honest. But those are my 5 games. I'm curious. Leave a comment. Let me know what game, maybe not 5, but what one game would you absolutely need to kind of rebuy to add to your collection. But that's my rants and raves. I think this will be something I kind of do more than solo reviews. I don't like solo reviewing, but I enjoy talking. I'll save the reviews for when I'm with RP or another guest, but I think I'm going to try to hop on more and just kind of rant and rave. I enjoy talking. I love a topic. I'll steal some topics from Instagram and jump on, or news or whatever. But if you're liking it, let me know. If you don't like it and want me to shut up, also let me know. But again, follow the Instagram, Gateway Gamers Podcast. I put up a lot on there. So if you like what I'm talking about, you'll love what you see on there. And then check out just our other socials and follow along. And thank you for listening. Bye.